Okay, I'm back with ARJE Jackson, and we're going to go right into this discussion about African American teenagers, 18, 19, 20, gay men, having relationships at such an early age.
Yeah.
Do you approve of that?
I do. Why is it any different for the straight 18, 19, 20-year-olds?
Well, do you think that there is should be a level of maturity first? Because these gay relationships can be very emotional.
Mm-hmm. And how do we know that they are more emotional than the ones that are straight?
Well, I don't know for sure, but
why we are expecting gay 19-year-olds to be more mature than straight ones?
So you would, the reason I'm asking is because I get this question through my Facebook page all the time from young guys. They're very sad, they're emotional, they want to be in a relationship. They're at that age, 19, 20. I've been down that path. I came out at 18 years of age, and I didn't really have my first relationship until I was 23. So when you got these guys desiring relationships, it can play on their psychic a little bit because they can't find a relationship. They want to be in a relationship, and they're being rejected by people.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of tell these guys, wait until you get a little bit older and then have a relationship when you're much mature so you can handle a relationship. I don't encourage these 18, 19, anyone under the 21, gay or straight. In my opinion, I think you should wait till you're a little bit older, a little bit more mature, focus on school and education.
Well, it's one thing if you're fixated on it, but if it's coming organic and naturally, you just happen to meet somebody and you guys are 18, 19, 20 and y'all fall in love, why not engage in that? I mean, it's a lifelong experience. It's going to teach you, even if that relationship doesn't work, it'll teach you and prepare you for the next one. I think every relationship I've been in has prepared me for the relationship that I'm in now.
What do you feel about, not to cut you off, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old dating 30-plus-year-old men?
I don't have no problem with that because, my baby's going to be so upset with me for exposed events.
How old is that man?
Well, my baby is much older than I am. Okay. So, but I did date a guy who was significantly younger than me before me and my baby decided, to make a lifelong commitment. He was significantly younger than me, but me personally, it wasn't one of those things for me now because I know that there are a lot of predators. But this was not one of those predatory type of relationships.
How old was this young man?
He was 17 years younger than me.
How old was he?
He was 20 and I was 37. Okay. So, but it was, not to try to make light of it or...
You was old enough to be his daddy.
I was. I mean, technically I was, but it was not a father-son relationship. Okay. I made sure of that. It was not one of those relationships where I felt like I was taking care of somebody. We made sure of that. It was a very mature relationship. Now,
Can you be equally yoked a 37-year-old man with a 20-year-old kid?
Probably not, but then sometimes we're not equally yoked when we're the same age because there are going to be things that he has that I understand that there were a lot of experiences that he had that I did not know anything about and vice versa. Okay. So anybody and everybody can teach you something a little bit more about who you are. And I think that's for me has always been my lesson that when I meet people, regardless of what type of relationship it is to teach me a little bit more about myself. So we are learning, we are living, and I think that is the purpose of living, is that you are supposed to learn, you're supposed to teach, and that comes at all ages. And it doesn't matter what age the person who is the teacher or the student, it could be a 2-year-old child.
Baby, how was that relationship with you and this little baby?
It was not a bad relationship at all. It was a great relationship. We were very open and honest with one another. I told him, and he told me. We talked about everything because he was a very mature person. What he lacked was experience, and which was fine. Mm-hmm. And so we would talk about everything. Imagine, I said, at any point, if you do not want to be in this relationship, let me know. I mean, my feelings would be hurt, but I will understand because I would prefer you to tell me and be honest with me as opposed to doing things behind my back.
Now, you dating a 20-year-old kid? Was he into the
clubs? Don't say
was he
20-year-old kid because
young man, was he in the clubs? Was he in the party? And here you are in your late 30s, you're probably going to bed by 8, 9 o'clock. I mean, that's what I normally go to bed.
See, I don't go until like 1 in the morning.
No, that's way past.
Because I have bad sleeping habits.
I have to get my sleep 8,
and it ain't because I'm out in the club. It's because I just can't sleep.
So, but he's a young man with full of all this energy and excitement. He wants to run around. He wants to go to Sizzle. He wants to go to. How long did this relationship last with this young man?
Well, let me preface this, because what attracted me to him was not his age. It was the fact that he reminded me so much of myself when I was his age, because I was not attracted to clubbing and sizzling and doing all of this bar hopping and screwing everybody every Tom, Dick, and Harpo. I was just not into that whole scene. And so
I can believe I was not into that either.
Yeah, and so he reminded me of to this day, and now I think he might be 24. To this day, he still does not go to anybody's club. He does not, because we still have a very friendly relationship. He's still very respectful. He's still the same person that he presented himself to be when I first met him. And that's a key to me, because, it's a sad world when we allow different hardships to change and rearrange our authentic self. And so, but just because that relationship didn't work, it didn't make me feel like, oh, God, I can't go... God killed me. There's no relationship that's going to ever work now. And he doesn't believe that. I refuse to, because it was not a bitter interaction. It was not a acrimonious relationship.
You guys are still friends today.
Yeah.
How long were you all together? Do you remember?
Almost a year. Probably like 11 months. Yeah. Okay.
So you just, last video you said you really don't count under 12 months as a significant relationship.
We were dating, but it was serious though. We were committed to one another. I know I'd never cheated on him, and I don't believe he ever cheated on me. We were very forthcoming, and we were very candid with one another, which is very difficult sometimes to find that people in your own age bracket. A lot of people just don't come authentic. They love to come with their facades and their presentations.
Slight change of subject for a second. The domestic, the DOMA, which I Marriage Act, which was dismissed by the U.S. Supreme Court just yesterday. What are your thoughts on the idea now that, because eventually gay marriage will be available pretty much nationwide in every state. It might be 5 years now, it might be 10 years, but
it's happening.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
How do you feel now about gay marriage? And do you think gay marriage will strengthen relationships, particularly in the black gay community, for those who can find a relationship? Do you think it's going to make men more comfortable being? Will black gay men participate in gay marriage? Some of them are now, but will the vast majority of black gay men participate in having a gay marriage?
Well, let me say this, and this is primarily semantics. I don't believe in gay marriage. I believe in marriage. So when you preface gay, that's an adjective, and it divides, and I hate divisiveness. So I believe in marriage between two consenting adults, whether they are, man and woman, woman and woman, man and man.
Okay.
So do I believe that it will strengthen gay relationships? No. I think it will just strengthen the relationship of people who decide that is what they want to do.
Okay.
Because we have seen that marriage has not strengthened straight relationships at all. So why would I think it would strengthen ours?
You have to remember, this is something new for most African American gays. I personally feel that gay marriage will help strengthen relationships. If the relationship is decent, I think if two people love each other and really are striving to have something, that marriage may make things better. Because now you have a contract that legally, to break it, you got to go to court, you got to get divorced. If you make more money than me, you're going to owe me alimony and child support payment, because baby's going to be a child support running around here. You're going to pay for the mutts running around here. So,
I look at it differently, because I wouldn't. The great thing
would
about
you participate in gay marriage?
I will.
Okay.
And not would I?
Marriage.
I will. So.
So you and your partner are planning on getting married.
We will get married one day, very soon, hopefully. So we're not engaged or anything yet, but
Because you guys have been together 2 years.
2 years.
Okay. So no ring on your finger yet.
Just my lifelong ring to myself.
Okay.
My love.
But have you guys sat down and discussed the possibility?
Oh yeah, we did that way even before we met. I've always enjoyed that concept. marriage. I've always been a proponent of marriage and life commitment to one somebody because that was the lifestyle that I came from. I mean, I can understand why people may be completely against it if you've not ever seen that in your entire upbringing. But for me, I saw, loving people. It may not necessarily be my parents. My mom was married, but she divorced. But I saw my grandparents married. I saw people in my family who lived very successful married lives. And that's something that I've always wanted to aspire to. But, I knew it wasn't possible for me, and now it is. But I always said that if I cannot get married legally, I still at least want to have a lifelong partner. And I don't see no difference other than the paper because the feeling is still the same.
So are you and your partner shacking up right now? You guys living
We are cohabitating, yes indeed.
Okay, good. So do you think that helps strengthen the relationship? Because I have a lot of friends who say, I would never live with my partner. I'd never live with that person. They got to have separate households, separate cars, separate everything. And I'm quite the opposite. I think that if you in a decent relationship, that it will help to strengthen the relationship. It will help. Just shaking us. But anyway, I think being in a relationship will help strengthen living together, if that's possible, will help your relationship to be stronger.
Well, I disagree. Again, it is an understanding that those two people have to come to. And so it doesn't necessarily mean it will strengthen, but if two people, for me personally, I have to live with my lover. That's just me personally. Okay. But I know people, Jay and I, we have some friends who've been together, I think they've been together maybe 15 to 16 years.
They've never
lived together. Never. Why, and they're still together.
Why would people be together that long but never ever share the same home? They both live in Atlanta.
They both live in Atlanta.
Separate households. Bills.
Separate everything.
Well, what's the point of this?
It works for them. I can't again displace my experience and what I like onto anybody else. If they choose to do that and that is what they enjoy doing and it works for them, who am I to say that their relationship is worse than mine or not as rewarding as mine? Okay. I can't do that to them. Okay.
So in these relationships, because we talked about Atlanta having an effect on relationships, I've always felt that if you're in a relationship and you have single friends, single friends can be the death nail in your relationship.
All the single friends. Go ahead.
It really is. I just personally feel, based upon my experience, I've been the same person for 18 years. The problems we had in our relationships were always from our friends who were single, even some in relationships.
Yeah.
These outsiders creating this conflict.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It can happen. I know that we've gone through a couple of issues as it relates to friends, and it's a challenging situation. One that you just gotta,
Did you boot the friends, or did you get rid of them, or do you keep these troublemakers? See, what I say now.
Well, if they're troublemakers, they have to go. Well, I have decided to just deal with some of them with a long-handled spoon.
Okay.
And then some of them, it was just some miscommunication, and I still love them. No love lost, and a lot of times people are just not happy for your happiness.
That's it. You're in a relationship. You're happy. You would think that your good friends would be so happy for you, but they're not. Do you get rid of these motherfuckers? Excuse my language, but that's how I feel. Some people gotta go. You gotta cut ties and move on. Your life would be miserable. If I had knew this in 1995, 1996, I think my life would have been a whole lot easier. But I kept these miserable motherfuckers around me and my partner, and they really should have been gone.
Were they miserable before you was partnered?
Well, they were single then, they single today.
No, I'm saying not just single.
Well, we had a great friendship, but once I started a relationship, it seemed like they were determined to break that relationship up for whatever reasons.
Right.
I just think that sometimes people get jealous and envious, for lack of another word to use. But I couldn't figure out why there was just so much. You're my best friend. You should be happy for me, but you're going to my partner, creating conflict between he and I. It's almost because I see what's going on. You're trying to get he and I to break up, so you can resume our friendship. Sometimes I think some of these gay guys have an attraction, a silent attraction, like Fatal Attraction, but they're not. They're attracted to you. And they see you get into a relationship, and they become jealous because they really have this attraction going forward. Because I had this problem, and I had to really get rid of a couple of friends who were attracted to me. They know I'm in a relationship, and have you ever had that happen to you?
No, I cannot say that I have ever had that happen to me because I immediately know who's attracted to me, even if you are my friend. So I already know. So I already, even if when I get into a relationship and I feel that this person is attracted to me, yet we've never crossed that boundary, but I know you're attracted to me.
Do you keep him as a friend?
I still keep you as a friend, but I don't just engage and entertain you as much as I used to.
You gotta be careful.
But it's
putting up a little wall to make sure that they realize that you're a friend. There's never any chance of us being together.
They know that. Okay. So
you may tell them this, but some people really didn't get
I've never had an issue with that.
I don't know, maybe
because I'm very clear.
I just must get some stalkers from hell.
And I don't think it's a gay thing. I think it's a human thing. I hate painting that gay brush because it seems like we are cut from a different cloth that is not human. And so anytime you have a good friend or a best friend and they feel like there's some form of a loss that's getting ready to take place for them, just like any human being, they immediately react, and sometimes it's not in your best interest.
You're with your partner. Have you met his mother and father?
His parents are deceased.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's much older than I am. Oh. My lover is.
He is? Oh, I didn't realize. I thought he was younger than you.
Mm-mm.
I guess I didn't pay. How old is he?
I'm not going to say.
But that's a shock because I didn't really realize that. Has he met your parents?
He has met both my parents, my mom and my dad.
Okay, so how do you think when you're going into a gay relationship or any relationship, is that an important thing to meet family members and friends of this world, or especially family members, you can kind of get to know the person you're about to get into a relationship with? Is it essentially important to meet the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the cousins, the grandmother, all these?
It's not essential for me. However, I would like to meet a number of his family members just so that they can know who I am. Okay. Because I'm always looking in the future, like what if something happens and they don't know who the hell I am? And then, I'm looking at the worst case scenario. But if my partner is not ready, then I will just support him until he is. That's just how I am, because I don't want to, a relationship in itself is a very challenging type of dynamic. I don't want to be the one to add any other dynamics to it when it don't have anything to do with me, because that's something that he is dealing with on his own entity as his own man. So I can't be the one to I'm gonna pressure you. You need to tell your family who I am, because he's not ever told his family about any guys that he's dated. Okay. So I'm not going to be the one to pressure him about
your partner with guys never disclosed. Does his family know that he's gay?
They probably do know, but he's just, he's chosen not to just disclose that part of himself to his family, which I understand. Everybody's family they have their own different dynamics. My family is very, very welcoming. They never care. He's met extended families, aunts, uncles, cousins, down the line on my side of the family, because they don't care, and I don't care either. So you're going to have to accept me as I am, or I'll, forgot about you and never thought about it. That's just how I feel, and they know that. And so since they value me as their family member, they have chosen, out of the kindness of their heart, to just accept me for who I am, as opposed to rejecting me and not having me a part of their lives completely. So, but I know that's not everybody's experience.
Well, it's 2013. How do you feel about black gay men who insist upon hiding in the closet, down low?
Now, down low is a different thing.
Well, tell me what your opinion. What is down low? Describe it for me.
For me, down low is when you are perpetrating that you are straight and dealing with women while you're sleeping with men on the side. Okay, to me, it's completely different than just being closeted. Okay. Closeted to me is just you're not prepared to tell everybody that you're gay. You're not sleeping with both sexes. You're just not prepared at this particular time in your life to tell everybody about your sexuality.
Is there any reason in 2013 for any man in America to hide their sexuality Can you give me some?
I personally don't believe there's a reason, but I understand that fear keeps whatever fear that is for you keeps you in bondage. So that's whatever fear that is. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've all experienced fear. It doesn't necessarily have to be because I don't want to come out of the closet. Whatever fear that you have going on in your life, it will keep you in bondage because you have this fear or trepidation about the unexpected. Mm-hmm. Now, if you are a child or if you are dependent on your parents for whatever reason, even if you're an adult, because there's a lot of college kids who we consider adult by technicality, and I understand that why you wouldn't come out because you're dependent on your family and your parents for your livelihood. I understand that. But if you're a grown-ass man and you've been one and have been self-sufficient for the majority of your life, I don't understand it. But I don't understand why, but it's just, I understand why, but I don't kind of understand why, because I know it has a lot to do with fear.
And in this era that we live in now, a lot more people are freer. A lot more people are out and about. A lot of people, public displays of affection. Mm-hmm. You and your partner at Piedmont Park, do you hold hands?
We have.
You have?
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Okay.
I've never held hands.
Well, you're closeted.
Oh, I'm not even closeted, but I never held hands in public, really, not even at home. It was like, whatever. But I'm just maybe not a public display of affection type person.
Well, that's just you. But I don't mind it.
We haven't straight folks looking at, because this is a complaint I hear from straight people. They were holding hands, they were kissing, they were hugging.
Well, I feel like as a human being, I should be able to do whatever.
What if there are children watching? Is that?
My thing is, I should be able to do whatever other human being is doing.
Are you disrespecting these children by holding hands or kissing your partner in public?
I didn't pull my dick out and put it in nobody's hole. I'm just showing love and affection. My thing is, I think we applaud when two men beat each other to a pulp. We applaud that, but when we see that two men have a genuine love and affection for one another, for whatever reason, that's a denigration to human and mankind. And why that is, I don't know. Why would I want to teach my child that it is okay to beat the shit out of his brother, but make it so sinful and vilifying if he should kiss his brother, hold his hand, or hug him and embrace him and show him love?
Do you think the black church plays a negative part in our community?
Absolutely. The black church is responsible for building the black society. So, of course, that's the umbrella in which all of us and most of us live our lives by. Mm-hmm. And so, even if you don't go to church or follow any dogma, which I don't, but I understand that many things that I do because of how I was raised is precipitous of church and the Bible and mm-hmm. different things, laws that we live under has a lot to do with the dogmas of life. So, I understand that.
Do you think that the church will ever change its stance on homosexuality? I know that there are some churches, some black churches, that are now more accepting of black gays, because this is a very serious problem in our community.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that we'll ever get to a day, or we'll ever see a day where intelligence, because sexuality is something no one can control.
Right. And
then you have these churches preaching this, Jesus can change you, God can change your mess. Will this ever change? Will we ever see is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Because this issue is it's ridiculous to me.
Come to the light, Caroline.
I'm coming to the light. Do you ever see a day when the vast majority of black churches will finally realize sexuality has nothing to do with a choice, nothing to do with a decision you made, that you were more than likely born gay?
Here's why I believe at some point it will. Right now, there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of spiritual struggle, and I understand that too. My concern about that is the people who submit their will to one particular person mm-hmm. and believes everything that they say, which is the pastor or the reverend or the rabbi, whomever that is for you. And that's where I draw the line, because if you have any sense of intelligence, this is how I feel. You can read the book for yourself and discern for yourself what it is meant for you, because that is what they are doing. and interpreting it in a way whereby people are so divisive. But the black church, namely, churches across the United States, and I think even the world, are losing people left and right. And a church is a business.
Yeah.
And so if you...
A business for the Lord.
Okay. And so we're talking about economic
all
shit.
the way by business.
And so as soon as those congregants come to a realization that if I can't get supported by you, the church, then why should I then support you? So if a lot of people stop going to that church, then yes, they will have no other. All churches will close down because at the end of the day, they need, the
converts.
Absolutely, and they're losing them. I mean, churches are not doing well. You may have one or two big name churches, and predominantly they are women filled in them and gay men.
Yep. That's about it.
And
and the pastor's gay, but he pretended to be straight.
And the straight women are
leaving. How do
leaving.
you feel about that?
Well, he is a man, and
he's lying,
just like most men.
He's gay. He's got a wife.
A lot of men do that.
Is it a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing. I don't condone it. However, again, I don't submit my will to any one person, so it doesn't have any jurisdiction over my life because I don't go and say hallelujah to Creflo Dollar and hallelujah to TD Jakes, and then here's my money and my check and all my dividends, and I'm broke as hell and poor as hell. I can't pay my bills and my kids don't have no clothes.
Have you really seen people like this? Because we always hear that as an example, but have you seen people give that much? Because I grew up in the church, but I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, so I really don't know a lot about the black church. But did you honestly see people giving so much to the church that they were suffering themselves?
The church preys on the underclass.
Wow.
That's just my belief.
Okay.
I do believe that because it's all about economics. I believe that. And, I've gone to a number of churches around the world, honestly, because I've traveled the world and back again. And I find it very, very strange. And it's disparaging, too, that when you come back to the United States, really they harp on just economics. Church really harp on economics.
Yes, they do.
And I'm sad. It saddens me when I see that these people are giving all their money, and yet I don't see anything that the church is doing for the black community as a whole.
Amen. You're preaching now.
Okay, so that's why I don't participate in it. Now, do I believe in God? Yes. I don't want people to think I don't believe in God.
I believe in God too.
I just don't believe in organized religion and I don't believe in dogma. So,
all right. So the reason why we're doing these videos is eventually we're going to do live, in-person debates and conversations, and we really want you guys to come out, see us, participate, ask questions, get involved. We're gonna
you're gonna have to be a little bit more
I'm
nice
gonna be
now.
Nice. I'm just gonna moderate. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna scare little kids away from me again. I'm gonna be nice.
You part the seas when it comes to the
I'm trying to be a much more nicer person. I just see this little halo over my head now. The 5 drag queens taught me. I heard what them 5 drag queens had to say. I'm doing what they told me to say. I don't want to meet them again in the dark alley.
I've been reading your posts. You've been a lot nicer lately.
I'm trying to open. I think again, people misunderstood. I was trying to get people involved, trying to get them to talk. I'm not Martha Stewart. Hell, I'm not. I can never be that type of person. So I was trying to get people involved, get them to talk. So, but I want people to know: come out, see us, talk, ask questions. Don't be afraid. We're not trying to expose your little dirty little secrets. I mean, this is a great opportunity to come out and see. We have not figured out when, where, and how, but we're working on that. We're going to get that together over the next, because I still got some issues I'm dealing with over here with this and all that. So we're gonna. Them drag queens did me in. So we're still dealing with the battle of the drag queens over here. So I got to get that together. But we just want you out. But we're going to do more videos over the next coming weeks, days, whatever. But eventually we will begin posting for our live debate and conversation. I really hope that you guys will participate and come out, talk.
So we can be more interactive and just open up the
dialogue. Be part of the community.
Which is needed.
It's so needed. So needed so much. But
and that's why I'm coming along with Walter because we share that same sentiment. Dialogue is needed in our community.
It's very important.
It's very
I
important.
think it helps a lot of people.
It does.
Well, I want to thank you for talking with me today.
Anytime, Walter.
And we look forward to you guys. We'll be in touch with you guys, let you know when we're going to get together and do these live debates and conversations, or a public forum for discuss all kinds of topics and
All
stuff.
kinds. Come on out.
And come out, please come out
Support
and
us.
support us,
And support yourself. Help us. Help us.
Exactly. Well, thank you. You can get on home to your husband.
Oh yeah, because I'm hungry.
I'm going to find something to eat too. Guys, thanks for watching the video
Thank you, guys.
today, and we look forward to doing this again. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely,
And we'll talk some more.
Yes.
I think we did pretty good today.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.